Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. My name is MoonEagle, and I'm a psychic catalyst. I am a healer's healer. I am a teacher for healers, and I've been doing this work for 30 years. And I come to you today as a friend of Mary's, and I want to talk about self-care. One of the things that I have worked with people, especially practitioners, people who are in leadership roles, is working on their own self-care process. It's very easy to get lost in helping other people. It's also very easy to get lost with the idea that there's so many things to do to take care of yourself and not really having a process or the tools of how to do that well. It's easy to get overwhelmed in our world. Our world is very fast, it's very busy, it's very go, 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 go. And not everybody works at that pace, and that's okay. Everybody has their own rhythms. One of the things that I developed over the years is something I call the 5 pillars of self-care. They're very simple, and these are things you already know about. These are things that when you go out and about in the world, you already have an expertise in these. They're simple. They're easy to do, and they just require a little bit of tweaking in your day-to-day life. And the first pillar is water. We all talk about how important water is. And some of you know already that water has memory. Your body is 70% water by volume, but more like 99% water by molecule. And one of the things that we do, we all walk around with our glasses of water, and we filled them with water, and we mindlessly drink throughout the day. I'm going to take a sip right now. I can feel it going all the way down. This is charged water. Charging water means that you're activating the emotional, energetic connection between the waters of life and the water in your body. You can charge your water very simply. I charge my water with love or positivity or endurance, or sometimes it's just I'd like to think clearly. And water will help you. The molecules of water want to harmonize with your body. So when you're drinking water mindlessly, you're just taking liquid in just for liquid's sake. You're not gaining the maximum amount of potential and energy that water wants to provide you in your body. Your body wants to use all of the water efficiently, effectively, and in harmony and in a modulation with Earth herself's rhythm. So that's water. When you drink water, do it mindfully, charge your water. You can do the fancy thing. I mean, you can charge it by the full moon, you can charge it by the light of the sun, you can put a stone next to it, you can do all these wonderful things. I don't necessarily think you need a fancy water machine. I mean, a good Purell filter sounds good though. Like, filter your water. Don't drink it out of a stream. You might get Giardia. But it is okay to just charge the tap water. It's okay. The next pillar is food. And we all eat, right? But most of us struggle with the day-to-day pressures of the difference between choices of food-like substances and real food. If you're eating something and you cannot identify the ingredients of what you're eating, question that. Where is it coming from? What are you putting in your body? If you pick at a packaged meal bar and it has a whole bunch of ingredients in it that you don't know what they are, maybe an apple's a better choice. Food is a combination of several things. We need food in our body to fuel our body, okay? We need that fuel for our walking, talking hydroelectric plant. So we put water in our body. Now we're adding fuel. We're adding fuel to get everything moving, right? So do that in community. I challenge you. Get a group of friends together. Everybody bring some basic ingredients. Cook together, clean together, hang out together. Use it as a community tool. Too many times, and I've seen this happen over and over and over again, I've done it myself. I have a big day, I'm busy running back and forth, and I forgot to eat. So I eat an apple, or I have some celery sticks with some almond butter, like I'm trying to feed myself. And I get home at the end of the day, and I have soup. Now, I don't eat soup out of a can. I'll make soup, I'll have frozen it, so I know what's in it. But I mindlessly just eat because I know my body needs fuel, and I'm not eating with intention. And we all know a simple technique that we've been taught by our ancestors. It's called prayer. Take a little minute over your food and honor, where does it come from? Honor the plants for their sacrifice. Honor Mother Earth and her weather and her sunshine and her rain that gave the nutrients and the plants the opportunity and the animals the opportunity for that sacrifice to help nourish our bodies. So our third pillar is breath. Now, there are 5 million breath workshops out there. I'm not going into the techniques. You can have pranic breath, you can have kundalini breath, you can have deep breath, shallow breath, exercise breath. There's so many different kinds of breath. You already have that. You already have that tool in your toolbox. But what I'm asking you to do in the self-care is check in with yourself as frequently as you need to throughout the day. Where do you breathe? Do you breathe through your back? Do you breathe through your upper chest? Do you breathe through your abdomen? Do you breathe through your lower belly? Where is the breath in your body? Check in. When you're anxious, when you're nervous, when you're driving down the highway. You're driving down the highway and you realize, wait a minute, I've got the radio going. My brain is going 500 miles an hour. Turn the radio off. Take a little bit of charged water into your body. Charged water, be mindful of it. Have some nuts that you can snack on, or maybe some celery with some almond butter pre-made in your bag. And then breathe. And why is breath after food? Well, if you think about how breath works, your diaphragm goes up and down. And that up and down motion helps your digestive processes work right. It helps massaging the organs in your body. It moves the fascia, and it brings oxygen to your brain, and it continues that hydroelectric process that your body naturally does. The next pillar is movement. Now, movement is one that we're told to do all the time. Okay, go to yoga, go to Qigong, go to Tai Chi, do a martial art, go to CrossFit, run, walk, Pilates, pick a thing. The reason that is often encouraged is because there's a community aspect to that. And in our society, food is very destructive in the community aspect. We spend a lot of money going out. We don't know what it is we're eating. We go to fast food restaurants. We're busy trying to get the social aspect and the food aspect all in our body all at one time. And as practitioners, we're pretty guilty of this. And in movement, this is where I encourage you to break away a little bit from the constant idea that you have to go out and do it with somebody. If you're that kind of person, do that. Enjoy. Have a wonderful time. But what I'm asking you to do is move with intention. I got up this morning. What you don't know is I got up and I was in the garden and I was watering and I was pulling some weeds, and then I decided, I'm going to walk around the block. And I walked around the block gently. And I was looking at the plants that other people had planted. There's a cherry tree around the corner that I'm curious to see what fruit is going to come in that yard here this year. I was watching the bunny rabbits cross the road. I get up really early in the morning, so there's not a lot of traffic. And that movement got my water system moving, my food system moving, and it got my breath system moving. And right now, there's a lot of fires. It's late summer, so there's a lot of particulates in the air. So breath is even more important in my awareness, because it's important that I'm connected to my breath in my body, because the air is full of stuff. If you live in a big city, that could possibly be a problem for you too. What if it's spring and you're having allergy season? These are all important things. And breath helps keep all those systems moving so that you can really connect to it. And the movement part helps you be connected to breath, and it gets all of the tissue and the fascia and all that water moving in your body. It keeps everything moving forward, and it keeps you healthy. And when you're moving, energy isn't stuck, emotions aren't stuck as easily. And when you're working in a high stress job, as any kind of leader is, or any kind of practitioner is, it's even more important that you get moving. We sit in chairs in front of a computer, just like I'm sitting with you today, and I don't plan on sitting all day. And then rest. Rest is the fifth pillar. Now, Everybody knows you should get a good night's rest. Okay, wonderful. That's good too. There are a lot of tips and tools you can look at for that. And I have a lot of techniques I work with clients on. But one of the things that I think practitioners specifically and professionals miss is the resting opportunities throughout the day. So take a minute. You've been in front of the computer for a little while, maybe a half hour. I like to set timers, right? So I set my timer and then I get up and I move and I rest my eyes from the computer screen. Okay. If I'm studying, if I'm researching, and I realize I've been stuck in a position for an hour or two because I forgot to set my timer, I make sure I rest by moving out of that space and resting my mind and my spirit and my body from that activity. If it's a highly emotional activity, so say you're a massage therapist or you're a counselor or you're a doctor, or maybe you're just a managing professional, or maybe you're just working at a fast food place and it's busy, 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 busy. There's a lot of emotion that happens when you work with people and when you engage, because there's triggers, there's traumas, there's things that come up. So rest is not just getting a good night's rest. Rest is also taking a break from what you're doing. Resting your body, mind, spirit, and emotion from whatever it is you're doing. Break it up, go do something else, and come back to it. Now, these are really basic techniques, and I work with a lot of people who have neurodivergence, like ADHD, autism, depressive disorders. I work with a lot of people that have history, especially intergenerational trauma, workplace bullying. I work with a lot of these kinds of people. And one of the things I've noticed is that nobody gives themselves enough rest. There's not enough rest built into your paradigm of how you work in the world. And I worked with some doctors a couple years ago. And one of the things that I noticed is that they would go, back to back, patients. By the end of the day, they were wrung out. They were absolutely wrung out. And I kept asking the question, why just lunch? Like, why are you only taking a half hour for lunch? And why are you sitting in front of your computer researching the afternoon patients? Get up, go outside, walk around the block, go do yoga in the back room, go to a sauna, step away between your intense morning client and your afternoon clients and read a novel, eat some carrot sticks in the back, move around, do something else, get out of that work paradigm and rest your body, mind, spirit, and emotion in regards to whatever it is that you're very passionate about, whatever it is your work is. You will find that you're more revived and it's easier to come back to what you're doing. When there's a pressure with rest on your body needs more rest. It needs more downtime. So one of the things that I often will recommend is if you have the ability to have a grounding mat and you can lay on your grounding mat in the middle of the day, go in the back room at the office or next to your cubicle, or put it in your chair, and maybe you've got one of those cushy seats that leans all the way back. But get yourself grounded if you can. Maybe go outside in the grassy area outside the office. Lay down on the grounding mat or on the ground and really breathe. You're not necessarily looking for an hour and a half nap or 20-minute power nap. I'm not asking you to nap. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm asking you to rest your body, mind, spirit, and emotions in regards to whatever it is that you've been doing. If you have a lot of pain in your body, rest is even more important. And that grounding aspect is also part of that. You can ground in movement. You can ground through food. You can ground through water. You can ground through your breath. And rest is part of this pillar system because it is a combination of resting your body, resting your mind, separating yourself from whatever it is you're doing, and getting yourself back in connection to who you are, detangling yourself from all the stuff around you and focusing on you. Self-care is the one thing I notice that overall, no matter how passionate you are about helping other people, no matter what you feel you are doing to contribute to the world, most of the time people forget to take care of themselves. Because we live in a paradigm where it is go, 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 take care of others, fulfill a formula, do this A, B, C, and D, and you will have abundance or prosperity or wealth or better relationships or whatever. But then there's a piece missing. There is a mental piece. Mind, body, spirit is what the modern metaphysical spiritualist movement has really focused on. And then we forget the emotion piece. And there's a medicine wheel involved in this. And the 5 pillars are part of the wheel. Body, mind, spirit, emotion, and then community. And these 5 pillars encompass all of those things. And you cannot truly belong to a community of practitioners that really practice this abundance if you are not taking care of yourself. And we talk about it, we talk to our clients about it, but when do we take the time and the energy and the effort to polish our own self-care? Like I said, these are all skills you know. These are all things you know. This is not some magical, oh my gosh, I've never heard that before. Most of us have heard all of these things. But how do we apply it very simply to our own lives as practitioners? And how do we do that in an effective, efficient way that keeps us vital, energized, healthy, emotionally capable, and able to meet our clients where they need us to meet them in our sessions with them? Whether you be a counselor, a social worker, a doctor, a body worker, craniosacral, a Reiki practitioner, whether you be a coach, a life coach, a health coach, whether you're a teacher, a manager, working at McDonald's or Taco Bell, or whether or not you're out there farming, growing organic food, whatever it is that you're doing, we all belong together. We have to do this together. And that's what I do. And I am happy to meet with anybody who wants to get clarity on this. I am happy to sit down with you and create a good plan for you, one step at a time. Little tiny bits, tiny changes is all you need to slowly turn the boat so that you have that vitality, that ability to reach into who you are and have that available for what it is that you do out in the world, no matter what that is. If you're constantly depleted, if you aren't charging your water, you're just drinking water mindlessly, you may not be getting the full benefit of your connection to Earth herself and the waters of life. If you're eating food mindlessly and eating food like substances versus real food with real connection to Earth herself, no matter what it is, animal or vegetable product, right? Like both of those things need to be as enriched and connected to Earth herself as possible. And then breath. Are you really breathing with intention? Are you making sure that you're connected to the air and that system in your body? Movement. Are you moving? Are you breaking up the things? And are you resting in between activities? Are you resting? Truly sitting with yourself, being uncomfortable with the emotions that you need to be uncomfortable with to move forward and to grow. Because the big trauma things that everybody wants to work on, if you're constantly triggered and you're not able to rest in between, it's very difficult to move forward. I hope you all have a blessed day, and I thank you very much for listening to my very brief overview of the 5 pillars of self-care. I work with people all the time in their particular journey. That's what I do as a teacher. I help the healers help others. I help the leaders help others through taking care of themselves. It's really hard to be out in the world and help other people if you can't take care of yourself. And that's what I encourage people to do, and that's what I help people to do. I hope you all have a beautiful day.